quality control of herbal cosmetics as per Drug and Cosmetic Act. Quality control along with quality assurance is carried out to check and to evaluate the herbal products for its purity, for its safety, purity, strength, and efficacy. The herbal formulations which are sold as OTC products, over the counter products, especially herbal cosmetics, have a different protocol regarding preparation, acquiring license, and marketing. The active principle of herbal preparations are not often well defined. In addition, the regulations regarding the safety and efficacy are not known to scientists or the consumer also. The standardization and quality control of herbals is the process which involved in the physicochemical evaluation of crude drug, uh, such as selection and handling of crude material, safety, efficacy, and stability assessment of the finished product, as well as documentation of safety and risk based on experience, provision of product information to consumer, and product promotion. Scientifically validated and technologically standardized herbal products may be derived using a safe path of reverse pharmacology approach based on traditional knowledge database. Some of the parameters have been incorporated in Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940. About the methodologies of QC, quality control. These quality assessment tests are carried out by quality control and quality assurance department during the manufacturing process. It can be carried out in three main stages under GMP and GLP norms. Proper sampling and testing of raw material, only good quality material are accepted and substandard materials are out outright outrightly rejected. Sampling and testing of intermediate products at different stages. In process quality control during production, for such control parameter like temperature, relative humidity, pressure, etc. Sampling and testing of finished products. These are the various stages under good manufacturing practices and good laboratory practices norms. These are the quality assessment test which is carried out by the QC and QA department during the manufacturing process of the herbal cosmetics. The quality assessment shall be done by quality control and this quality assurance department through proper sampling as per the sampling plan. Sample should be taken before production. Only complies material with regard to standards laid down in pharmacopoeia or in-house protocol should be released for production. The testing protocol for raw materials or raw drugs. The first test is identity or pharmacognostic profile, in which macroscopic examination, the visual examination as size, color, surface, characteristic, texture, and other examinations like taste and odor. And in macroscopic examination, there is a preparation of sample, inspection by microscopy, inspection by color filter of ground glass, histochemical detection, and there is a section study, TS or ELS. The second identity parameter, that is chemical identification, the test for different sort of phytoconstituents as alkaloids, glycosides, saponins, tannins, etc. In identity, along with the pharmacognostic profile and chemical identification, there is a TLC or HPTLC profile, thin layer chromatography or high performance thin layer chromatography profile has been carried out. The second test, that is purity, that means the physicochemical profile, the determination of foreign matter, determination of ash value, determination of extractable matter, or determination of water and volatile matter, as well as determination of moisture content, that is LOD, determination of bitterness value, determination of hemodynamic activity, determination of tannins, determination of swelling index, determination of foaming index, swelling index, pesticide residue, total chlorine, total phosphorus, phosphate, arsenic, heavy metal, determination of bulk density, as well as radioactive contamination, and comparative thin layer chromatography or HPLC or HPTLC or GCMS has been carried out. This test has been carried out while checking the purity of samples or purity of the raw materials. Then another parameter, that is the strength, determination of the strength. There is a determination of the strength of the active marker, or the, you can say, the assay whenever required, as well as pharmacognostic profile, purity, strength. You have to carry out the safety. In safety, you have to determine heavy metal profile. There is a lead, mercury, arsenic, or cadmium. And microbiological limit testing, total aerobic bacterial count, total yeast or mold count, and presence of any pathogens like Salmonella, E. coli, or Aureus, Escherichia coli, or Aureus. Then aflatoxins B1, B2, G1, G2. There is a determination of the pesticide residue also. This is the methodology of testing of raw materials, and methodology of testing of compound. The quality assessment shall be done by quality controller, QA department, through proper sampling as per the sampling plan. And samples should be taken from in process stage and finished product from quarantine area. Only approved finished product with regard to standards laid down in pharmacopoeia or in-house protocol. This QC or QA technical person should also ensure about compliance of other regulatory requirements, such as their label claim under Rule 161 of Drug and Cosmetic Act. This include drug name, formulation, their composition, drug manufacturing reference, main therapeutic indication or uses, dose, vehicle, the direction of use, if any, shelf life, any warning or caution, and about the storage condition. And the various instruments which is used in this quality control process and during the toxicity study. Various common instruments are used as a pH meter, single distillation unit, double distillation unit, SOx lead assembly, water bath, viscometer, bulk density apparatus, tintometer, polarimeter, refractometer, microscope, titration unit, hot air oven, magnetic stirrer, filtration unit, IR moisture balance, Carl Fisher titrator, Moppel Permes, vacuum evaporator, dissolution apparatus, friability apparatus, hardness tester, top loading balance, autoclave, BOD incubator, laminar flow, microbiological colony counter, antibiotic zone reader. These are the list of common instruments which is used in quality control process as well as during the study of toxicity. In drug standardization work, so many ultra modern instrument has been used frequently as and when they are application as per chromatography setup, column chromatography apparatus, double beam spectrophotometer, HPLC unit, HPLC unit, LCMS, uh, gas chromatography with detector, GCMS. These are the uh, some list of some sophisticated instrumentation which is used during the standardization process. In toxicity studies, there are two approaches for toxicity toxicology studies. These approaches include there is a mechanistic approach and descriptive approach. Mechanistic toxicity studies based on the biochemical process by which a toxic effect is produced, while the descriptive study is based on various analytical techniques such as pathology, physiology, and pharmacology. Mechanistic toxicity study based on the biochemical process by which toxic effect is produced, and descriptive toxicity study based on the various analytical technique. Most of the toxicity study performed today is descriptive and which involves the use of animals. The animals used in the toxicity studies are always killed and examined at the end of the test. Normally, rabbit, guinea pig, and albino rats are selected for toxicity studies. The various toxicity studies on cosmetic products perform are acute toxicity, skin irritation, acute toxicity, skin irritation, skin sensitization, repeated dose dermal toxicity, phototoxicity, ocular toxicity, as well as carcinogenicity. These are the various toxicity studies which is performed on the cosmetic products. Acute toxicity, the goal of these acute toxicity studies are studies of cosmetic products is to determine the potential toxicity of chemicals, the potential toxicity of chemicals to the human beings and other life forms. These acute toxicity studies are conducted to determine the potency of toxic chemicals in terms of the median lethal dose LD50. LD50, LD50 is a value which represents the estimated dose causing 50% of animals' death exposed under fixed conditions of the test. This is called as the LD50. This is a nothing but a value which represents the estimated dose causing 50% of animals' death exposed under fixed condition of the test. Rats are the most commonly used animal for this acute toxicity study. As per Directive 92 by 69 EEC for oral, inhalational, and acute toxicity studies, at least 10 rats, 5 female and 5 males, are to be selected and they are exposed to chemicals at different dose level. And as per Commission Directive, a chemical agent that produces LD50 at a dose less than 25 milligram or 20 less than 25 milligram per kg in a rat exposed by oral route is classified as a very toxic. That is given in a Commission Directive 93/21 leak, EEC, a chemical agent that produces LD50 at dose below 25 milligram per kg in a rat exposed by oral route is classified as very toxic. Very toxic chemical also produces LD50 at dose below 50 milligram per kg in a rabbit or a rat exposed by dermal route, or at LC50 at a dose less than zero point 0.5 milligram per 1 in a 5 milligram, zero point 0.5 milligram per 1 in a rat exposed by inhalation for 4 hours. And as per the same directive 93 oblique 21 by EEC, a toxic chemical agent is those that produces LD50 in a treated rat between 25 to 200 milligram per kg by oral route, between 50 to 400 50 to 400 milligram per kg by dermal route, and LC50 between 0.25 to 2 milligram per 1 by 4th uh, inhalation exposure. The clinical signs of toxicity that include bleeding from mouth, diarrhea, convulsions, seizures or paralysis, and death. These are some clinical signs of toxicity. The second one is skin irritation or corrosion test, skin corrosion. Skin irritation is the reversible damage of the skin which is produced after the application of test substance or after the application of the chemicals for up to 4 hours, while skin corrosion is the irreversible damage of the skin which is produced after the application of test substance for up to 4 hours as visible necrosis through the epidermis and into the dermis. The goal of or the objective of the estimating the potency of chemicals to induce irritation or corrosion is to evaluate whether information from human experience uh, or from animal studies or human experience or animal studies, and in vitro studies or from physiological data provides proof that the chemical is likely to be corrosive or skin or eye and respiratory irritant. Rabbits are most commonly used for this purpose. The two rabbits are selected and exposed to the chemicals for 4 hours. Two rabbits are exposed to the chemicals for 4 hours. Chemicals are exposed to water motion body under semi-occlusive patches. Observe erythema, scar, and oedema at a predetermined interval of 124, 48, and 72 hours after path removal up to 14 days. In a skin sensitization parameter, according to OECD test guidelines for skin sensitization, skin sensitization is an immunological mediated cutaneous reaction to a chemical substance and is characterized by pruritic, oedema, erythema, papules, or combination of these in the humans. The objective of estimating the skin sensitization potency of chemical is to evaluate whether exposure of chemical to the human initiates allergic reactions and whether the chemical has the skin sensitization potential when exposed to animal. This skin sensitization is mainly performed on guinea pig. Uh, Also, mouse is also used. The mouse ear swelling test, MEST, mouse ear swelling test, MEST, or local lymph node assay, LLNA, has been performed on surface of mouse ear. When guinea pig is used for testing, chemical is applied on the surface or injected under the skin. Repeated dose dermal toxicity as per this OECD TG 410 guideline Dose in a dermal test is the amount of test substance applied to the skin. Dose expressed as weight or as the weight of test substance per unit weight of test animal, mg per kg. Repeated dose animal toxicity study that provides information on possible health issues arising from repeated exposure to the chemical by dermal route over a specific period of time. Rat, guinea pig, or rabbit mat may be used for this study. The test substance is applied daily to several groups of test animals in a graduated dose, one dose per group for a period of 21 days to 28 days. And the animals are observed daily to detect any sign of toxicity during the period of application. About phototoxicity screening, as per this OECD test guideline for phototoxicity, OECD DG 432, phototoxicity is defined as uh, any toxic response from a substance applied to the body, which is either illicit or increased after subsequent exposure to light, or that is induced by skin irritation after systemic administration of substance. Any toxic response from a substance that substance applied to the body, which is either illicit or increased after subsequent exposure to the light, that is called as a phototoxicity. Phototoxicity is produced when the skin applied with a chemical product come in contact with sunlight or UV radiation, because chemicals forms toxic decomposition products following exposure to the sunlight or ultraviolet radiation. Guinea pig and mice are the most commonly used for this phototoxicity testing. Erythema dose is predetermined and product is applied to the skin of test animal. This is usually carried out under a patch for a period of 24 or 48 hours. After specified time patch, after specified time patch are removed and one side eradicate with UV radiation. After 24 hour of patch removal, both site eradicated and non-eradicated uh, has been evaluated and compared with the control. About ocular toxicity studies, ocular damage may produce due to accidental or normal contact with the chemicals present in a cosmetic product which is employed for human skincare. There is a Drey's test. Drey's test is used to evaluate qualitative alteration produced in the eyes of examined animals. Most commonly, rabbit is used for ocular toxicity. According to this Drey's test method, several test animals are applied with the test substance in a single dose to one eye. The second untreated eye is used as a control. The degree of irritation produced in a treated eye is evaluated and compared with the control eye. About the carcinogenicity, the substances which induce tumors, either benign or malignant tumors, they are known as carcinogenic substances. When they are ingested, inhaled, injected, or dermally applied, they may increase their malignancy or shorten the time of tumor occurrence. Two categories of carcinogens are known. One is genotoxic. Genotoxic means induced cancer through interaction with the DNA and induced mutation. That is called as genotoxic. And another one is a non-genotoxic. That means induce cancer through mechanism other than DNA damage, like the hormonal effects. That is non-genotoxic. These two categories of carcinogens are genotoxic, and another one is a non-genotoxic. Most commonly, two species of rodent mouse and rats are used for carcinogenicity study. Carcinogenicity testing requires more animal than other toxicity testing. At least 100 animals, 50 male and 50 female rodents are used for each of three doses. Latency period of tumor formation in rodents animal is 1 to 2 years. Test substance should be administered 7 days a week for a fraction of lifespan comparable to the fraction of human lifespan over which the substance is likely to be used. Generally, the period of dosing should be 24 months for rats and 18 months for mice. Observation should include macroscopic changes observed at autopsy and detailed histopathology of organs and the tissues. About genotoxicity, it is well known that no single mutagenicity test can distinguish all classes and examples of genotoxic carcinogens, probably due to the diverse mechanism involved in genotoxicity. The notes of guidance recommend a basic analysis sequence for evaluate cosmetic ingredients for their genotoxic potential, consisting of three in vitro tests, that is amides test, a gene mutation test in mammalian cells, and the micronucleus test. A succession of in vitro tests alone would not appropriately reveal the in vitro situation. However, if all these tests are negative, no further tests are required. The potential for more physiological relevant approach to test dermal exposure is currently obtained using 3D human reconstructed skin model assays. These models are obtained from primary human cells and are predictable to contain a normal cell cycle control and DNA repair, that exhibiting a capability of human metabolism that is more appropriate than the exogenous rodent metabolizing enzymes currently used in standard in vitro genotoxicity assays. In fact, these models are being used to develop two different tests for in vitro genotoxicity, namely micronucleus test and COMET assay. Both the assays can promote metabolic activation of compounds, leading 17 to the development of specific genotoxicity skin evaluation methodologies. However, further validations by several different international bodies like OECD, ECVAM, ICCVAM, that must be performed in a genotoxicity study. About the reproductive toxicity, the reproductive cycle is complex and is unlikely that a single in vitro assay can cover all that complexity. At the present, no in vitro reproductive assays are validated by ECVAM. Progresses and efforts have been made for the regulatory acceptance of three types of assays: rat whole embryo culture assay, mouse embryonic stem cell test, and human EST. WEC and EST were originally evaluated by the ECVAM. WEC appears not to be sensitive to certain classes of weak teratogens. These in vitro tests are used as screening tools or for providing supporting mechanistic information when carrying out safety assessment. However, the role of alternative methods as a part of the integrated testing strategies for regulatory toxicity evaluation must be defined. The endocrine system, about the endocrine toxicity, the endocrine system, which is an overlap of the reproductive, immune, and hematological system. Which is endocrine system is an overlap of the reproductive, immune, and hematological system. Is a Endocrine system is a target of potential toxicity concern for cosmetic ingredient. Assays for the recognition of substance that can bind to estrogen or androgen receptors and activate or block cellular response are under validation of EURL or European Commission ECVAM. The current in vitro methodologies guidelines proposed by OECD mainly consist of estrogen or androgen receptor binding, estrogen or androgen gene transactivation, and steroidogenesis assays. Accordingly, no single model or assay is likely to provide all the knowledge requested to confirm if a compound is or not an endocrine disruptor. Also, for endocrine active substances, there is not yet a harmonized approach on health risk assessment procedure without official criteria established by for identifying an endocrine disruptor. Perspectives due to ethical aspect, the use of animal taste based on time and cost. Due to ethical aspect, the use of animal taste and the difficulties in the extrapolation of the result to man, that leads to difficulties in the replacement of animal taste. Still, this is still being a matter of debate. The most important message behind this discussion is that at present, no real validated in vitro test is currently available as a ready to go alternative to the currently used in vivo test to assess acute, subacute, chronic toxicity as well as the carcinogenicity and reproductive toxicology. Therefore, cosmetic industry may not assess the genotoxic and carcinogenic potential of new ingredients in vivo. Considering the low specificity of the in vitro genotoxicity test and unacceptable high rate of the ingredient falsely classified as positive may be eliminated. One of the limitation of all traditional cell cultures is that cells are grown in aqueous solution in which the intrinsic poor solubility of lipophilic substances or the instability of certain chemicals can affect the correct potency classification, resulting in a weak correlation. The methods discriminating between skin sensitizers and non-sensitizers might become available. Although the SCCS welcomes the use of alternative methods once they have been validated, most of the results present in the safety dossiers are based on animal trials, especially for active ingredient. The margin of safety is calculated based on the lowest no observed adverse effect level, obtained either via repeated dose of toxicity test or developmental toxicity test. The dermal absorption value and the calculated exposure level are also considered for the margin of safety calculation. In this way, the safety evaluation is commonly completed taking together the results from skin, eye irritation tests, skin sensitization assays, and mutagenicity or genotoxicity. Summarily, in summary, the expansion of the applicability domains of the in vitro and in silico tools and the continued collaboration between the regulators, academia and industry are very necessary to complete the development of in vitro methods for this toxicity testing.